Hi there, welcome back. It's a beautiful summer's day and I thought what better day to do a little bit of a demonstration for you on a piece of kit that I've put together. And it's a piece of kit that I've designed so that I can teach the settings of the cameras and the behavior of camera settings to you as an audience. So here it is on the Sony a7 III. And what it is it's basically an old phone. And everyone has an old phone lying around, right? And it is a 4K capture card that is plugged in via USB-C. See, here we have the USB-C side of it. And on the other side, there is a 4K capture full HDMI cable, and that is running into the side of the camera. So here's the 4K capture, the full HDMI side, and that is running just like the USB-C runs into the Guermok. That's the brand, Guermok. I'll put the link in the description. And it's running into a mini HDMI port over here on the camera. So mini HDMI to full HDMI. And the Guermok actually has a built-in USB-C cable. That's what I like about it. I'll put its link and the link to the cable in the description. Now, the attachment to the camera is just a simple Joby camera mount. You can use any camera mount. PG Tech makes them, Ulanzi makes them, Newer makes them. So anyone that works, you might already have one. And what I've used is an adapter on the bottom over here. The adapter on the bottom is just like a screw mount adapter for the hot shoe. So it's a hot shoe tripod mount, basically. And that mounts the phone holder onto the camera. On the other side of the image, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be showing you this device over here, which is just a lawn ornament. And that's just going to be spinning around in the wind when the wind eventually picks up. And that will show you movement. 15th of a second. Let's go to 30th of a second. And every time I change my shutter speed, it's going to be changing 1/3, 2/3, and then a full stop. A whole stop, that is. That's 60. There's a 1/25. There's 250. 500th. 1/3, 2/3, and then a whole stop, and then 1,000th of a second. You can see at 1,000th of a second, we're already running out of aperture to use. The camera can't actually open up the aperture enough, so I'm going to compensate with ISO. Over here, let's take it to 400 just to give us room. 1,000th of a second. 2,000th of a second. And again, we run out of aperture. So we have to go up to 800th of a ISO. And we go up to 4,000th of a second. Not that you'd need 4,000th of a second to capture that, I don't think. But let's run all the way up to 1,600 now so that we can go to 8,000th of a second and take a shot there. Okay, so now let's, so with the next set of images, I'm going to change to aperture priority. I'm going to start off again at f2.8 and I'm going to be stopping the lens down. So let's see if I go back down to maybe 800. So at f2.8, this is what the background looks like. By the way, I'm photographing at 75 millimeters. Let's stop down 1/3, 2/3, and a whole stop. Now we're at f4. Let's see what that looks like. Stop down 1/3, 2/3, and all the way to 5.6. And then 1/3, again, 2/3, and now we're at f8. And then 1/3, 2/3, now we're at f11. And let's go 1/3, 2/3, f16. And extreme settings here, let's go 1/3, 2/3, and f22. Now f22 is the maximum aperture that this lens can actually be set at. I wouldn't recommend that you photograph using f22 because your diffraction is going to be huge. But this is just for the purpose of demonstration. Now, it's interesting to note in this aperture mode versus the shutter priority mode that I was in before, that there are many more shutter speeds to choose from in a camera versus apertures. So I counted, as far as whole stops are concerned, about 7 stops of apertures that one can use. That's not counting the in between 1/3, 2/3, and then the whole stop. I'm talking about whole apertures that you could use to set any setting on your camera. So if we're, for example, using f2.8 lens, from f2.8 to f22 are going to be 7 whole stops. When you're looking at shutter speeds, usable shutter speeds, that can range anything from 30 seconds on the Sony a7 III all the way to 8,000th of a second. And that range is about 18 settings, 18 stops of shutter speed that one can actually use. So many more shutter speeds than apertures to be able to fine-tune your exposure. Even when you break that down into the shutter speeds that actually stop motion, like starting at about a 60th of a second upwards, you still have more stops of shutter speed to play with than aperture. So it's important to actually understand that when you're wanting to fine-tune your exposure, it's easier to do that with shutter speed when you're beginning than to do so with aperture. So an important consideration to note. Aperture priority, basically, in aperture priority, we're going to be setting the desired aperture, and the camera is going to be setting the shutter speed accordingly to what it can. Now you need to be able to set the ISO to a range where the camera can set both of these numbers. So occasionally when you're setting these, trying to achieve these settings with the camera, you will see your aperture flashing if you're trying to set a shutter speed that is too fast or too slow for the camera to use. And then you'd have to compensate with your ISO. The same goes with changing modes to the shutter speed priority mode. You might be trying to set a shutter speed and the camera is running out of apertures to be able to hit that setting that you require. And so you have to compensate with ISO. So it's always a dance of these 3 settings in unison so that you can actually achieve the desired setting. Now, that's the magic of photography, is knowing which setting to use at which subject, in which occasion, at which time, and that just comes with experience. You can learn it. You certainly can learn all the settings, but it is trial and error to a degree. After you learn how to use the settings, the setup that I use today is actually a very, very cool teaching tool, and it enables you to see the screen and see your settings. And what pulls it all together is the app that you have to have on your camera. So I've used a couple of apps before, and none of them seem to work as well as this one that I found. And I think I did have to pay a couple of dollars for the app to get the pro version versus the free version, which throws ads all over the screen, which is horrible. It's called USB Camera, and I will certainly throw that link in for you so that you can find that online. And the combination of USB camera and the Guermok 4K capture card and the USB cable that used the HDMI cable that goes into micro HDMI, and then the holder on the camera. I'll link all these items that one can use to put together a kit. You can use any number of things, but you need to have each piece in order to make the whole setup work. What happens is you end up with a device that's able to record your screen and record all the camera settings on your screen as well. They call that dirty HDMI output as opposed to clean HDMI output, now meaning that all your settings are displayed on the screen when you are recording. And that's not really desirable for professional videography. When you're teaching the settings in photography, it's certainly very, very helpful. You can see what mode you're in, you can see where the camera is focusing, you can see shutter aperture, ISO, and you can also see how the camera is behaving in a live fashion. And that's I think it's fantastic. So it's a very, very convenient setup to be able to do this. And thank you for joining. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. And I'm also releasing a photo course, foundational photo course. So I'll put a link to that at the end of this video as well. Follow me for more videos and gear reviews and setup tips, and you're going to learn something new every time.